The Grand Rapids Public Museum has been around for about 170 years, and at our core, we are an educational institution, and our goal is knowledge for all. And so the education department meets that mission by reimagining what it's like to learn in a museum setting. So Immerse is our flagship education program. It is a week-long program where teachers can bring their students to the museum. So instead of doing just a one-time field trip, they get to use the museum as their classroom for an entire week. So they get to engage in object-based learning, so getting hands-on with artifacts and specimens, but then they also get to experience our exhibits and do exhibit-based learning.
The reason I wanted to be involved in it is I wanted my students to realize, one, they can come here for free. They are Kent County residents. A lot of them have bus passes through GRPS, through their school. They can get on a bus if they want. They can come here and they can walk around and just experience all of the cool exhibits. And I wanted them to have a love just for learning and a love for, I don't know, just the different exhibits that there are, and there's always those rotating exhibits. So I think that for me, I just wanted to share that love with my students, and I wanted them just to get super excited about just going to a museum and realizing it wasn't this boring, stale kind of experience, where it was just, it's very dynamic and it's very exciting, and there's just so many things they can interact with.
Yeah, the museum education staff are absolutely fantastic people. They have all of their ducks in a row, right? And so the museum staff, they start with a big orientation that you can attend in person or virtual. They had a plethora of Google Drive, things in their Google Drive that you can go through and work with. And then there's the one-on-one meeting that we had. You know, my teaching partner and I sat down with a member of the education department here at the museum, and they walked us through every piece of what we wanted to do and say, well, what about this for this morning and this morning, and kind of working with us in our schedule and coming up with the best plan based on what our goals were. And we kind of came in with this okay, we want to be thinking about how the museum puts information in your head. And they did a really nice job of saying, oh, this is your goal, how can we help you fit your needs? And it was a really impressive and collaborative experience.
A typical experience for students will vary. It really depends on the needs of the school, the needs of the students, and what the teacher wants to accomplish during the week. But they get to participate in guided education programs with museum education staff each day, and then they also get to do a planetarium show with us each day. And what they do in between those times, those scheduled times, is really up to the classroom teacher. And so they'll do closer exhibit studies, they might work with our discovery kits, they'll go on excursions sometimes downtown. It really is up to that visiting teacher to decide what they want to accomplish for the week.
I liked that we got to see all the different exhibits and got to learn some cool information about everything. And I liked seeing the old Grand Rapids exhibit because they had all these shops, and it was kind of fun to walk into what it was actually like, and that felt kind of real.
The end of year education showcase is the culminating event for Immerse, and students will create a project to show off their learning from their week at the museum. These can be individual, group, or full class projects, and it's one of my favorite events of the entire year. This year was our best year yet. We had 1,300 students and families come, and it's such a great celebration of their learning all throughout the year, and they get to show it off, and they get to be the ones to talk about their experience at the museum.
Students' experience with engagement is much higher after coming here to Immerse. The rationale being is that they're not reading a text and responding to questions, and they are instead putting themselves into these exhibits and really experiencing it. The newcomer exhibit is a great example of students kind of immersing themselves into an exhibit. Again, from being from Kentwood, we are the most diverse district, and we have so many students who come from incredibly diverse backgrounds and have parents who are refugees or refugees themselves. So going through that exhibit and being able to see themselves in the exhibit, I think is an incredibly powerful tool in terms of giving them a sense of belonging and engaging them with material and getting them to ask those next questions. And ultimately that's our goal as teachers, is to make students continue to ask questions for the rest of their life and to be lifelong learners, and Immerse sets them up for that. It allows them to kind of ask those next questions.
I just want to say that this has been such a positive thing for us at Burton. Our kids every year before they come into our grade level, they talk to us. I mean, I have third graders that come up to me, I can't wait to be in your class, miss. We get to go to Immerse. And so it's impacting so many students just beyond the classroom. But it also makes, I think, me be a better teacher because I kind of deviate from just the structure of, classroom, and we really explore creativity and having fun, working together with each other, cooperating and listening to each other's ideas. We have a lot of conversation in the classroom, so that's, I think, one thing that I benefit from that is allowing my students more voice in everything that we do.
I hope the lasting impact of our program is that teachers know that the work that they are doing is so important and so valued, and I hope that students will have their natural curiosity carry with them. The teachers are working so hard to develop these learning experiences for students, and it's so exciting when students are excited to be here.